Welcome to the Latin Wealth Podcast, a podcast dedicated to educating the Latino community about entrepreneurship, investing, and business.
Yo, what's going on, Latin Wealth family? Welcome to another episode to Wealth Wednesday. Hopefully, you guys are having a great day. Super excited to get into today's conversation because today we're talking about rent prices and how rent prices are actually going down and are expected to fall in 2025 even more. So, the question that we'll be diving into today, so is it smarter to rent or buy in 2025? We're also going to be diving into a crazy story that came out. U.S. Immigration and Custom Enforcement, better known as ICE, spent millions of dollars on phone hacking tech just in time for Trump's mass deportation plan. We're going to be diving into that. And I was just telling Jeremiah, there's not too many things that come out in the news or on the internet that kind of scares me, but this is crazy that we'll dive into it. Jeremiah, how you feeling today? How you doing, man? It's Thanksgiving weeks. The holidays are on us. How you feeling?
I'm feeling thankful. I'm feeling thankful to be here. I'm feeling thankful to have the brother, Chris. Feeling thankful to be a part of Latin Wealth. It's we've been putting our time now. We were just talking about that. So honestly, in the season of being thankful, I'm very thankful to have the opportunity to
For sure.
come. And I feel thankful for everybody that's watching us and giving the
Yeah.
love.
Likewise, likewise. So let me ask you a quick Thanksgiving question before we get too serious.
Yeah.
You pull up to Thanksgiving Day, somebody's cooking in the house, whether it's you, your wife, family, whoever. What is that one thing that needs to be on your plate, your Thanksgiving plate? What's that one thing? Like if it's not on there, it ain't Thanksgiving.
Uh I would say obviously the easy answer is the turkey. But if we're keeping it real, man, I gotta have that. I really, really, really gotta have that arroz con habichuela, man.
Mm, mm, gotta have that.
Yeah, I need it.
Gotta
I need
have
that in
that.
my life. And for you guys, you're
Yeah,
like, what is that? That's rice and beans, guys. Don't
rice
worry.
and beans. That's all. That's all
Yeah.
it is. No, I definitely like that. For me, it's anything sweet potato or yams related. I don't care how you make
Really?
it. I don't care how you make it. I don't you put pecans or marshmallows, whatever. How you make it, it needs to be on the plate. And if it's not on the
Yeah.
plate, it's for dessert.
Man, you know that growing up they made me eat like sweet potato. Like they used to make me eat it, so I
Okay.
hate it now. I won't touch a sweet potato.
Really?
I won't touch sweet potato anything. Hate it.
Wow. That
Pies, no, I don't want to see it, smell it. I don't want nothing to do with it.
and
But I
so this is
respect it though, man.
this is why we do the podcast. There's got to be a balance, right? It's got to be a balance
Always,
in the world. You know what I'm saying? So
always.
look, we're going to get into it today. The Immigration and Customs Enforcement, I'm just going to say ICE moving forward, agency is well prepared for President-elect Donald Trump's plan to deport millions of undocumented immigrants when he takes office in January. All right. So, in the 3 months prior to the November election, the agency signed $20 million in contracts for new phone hacking, surveillance, and forensic technology that can be used to spy on and track down people he has vowed to expel from the country. This is absolutely insane. So, how do we know about this information? Well, this information is coming from Forbes, and Forbes made a review of ICE recent contracts or recent government contracts, and they found agreements to these different purchases. An array of different technologies that were purchased, again, were to survey phone calls, text, social media activity, identify people with recognition, remotely hack a smartphone, and raid the content of a device, including delete data. This is absolutely insane. So, what I want to do real quick, and look, I want to just prove that a lot of this information, it doesn't take very long to figure out where it's at or how to find it. So the reason why I know about this information or even this website, this is called federalcompass.com, and pretty much it breaks down the different contracts that were awarded to different companies, right? different government contracts. Because everything that we're talking about, these are all government contracts, right? So, what I did here is you can go to and you have to sign up for a paid uh, s- subscription to see the full details and whatnot. But you can at least see what the Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE) the recent contracts that were awarded. So these are contracts that were put out by ICE, and you can literally see how much they were awarded for the time, the contractor that they hired, and information about the contract. So again, these are all the most recent ones, and you can kind of scroll and see there's a plenty of different things on here. Um, this one I have highlighted. This one was for $4.1 million. Dollars. The name of the contract is St. Paul Guard Services. There's not too much information about what that means. But what's interesting is, again, why would you want to like do your research and figure out what all these means? Because you can kind of figure out what's coming next, what's going to be happening, right? So if you were to do a quick Google search on this company, Akima, go ahead and type this in real quick. This is a government contract company that's pretty much providing different solutions for the United States. And they do everything. They do facilities, they do information technology, aerospace, protective services, mission support, construction. So this is a company that's providing all these different services. All right. So that was for $4.1 million. Now, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, again, there's a bunch of different things that they put out that you can be awarded for. You go to the bottom, and there's two of them here that are for $2 million. Now, I think it was this company that I had clicked on. Again, the ICE agency is putting out these opportunities, and they're looking for different people that can fulfill these opportunities. So, Paragon Solution is the winner of this contract for $2 million. And again, I'm a little nerdy when it comes to this. I want to know what all this means. So this company is empowering ethical cyber defense. And again, pretty much what they do is they provide their customers with basic tools to disrupt intractable threats, provide cyber and forensic capabilities to locate and analyze digital data, cyber workforce training. So, anyways, I wanted to show this to you guys because we sometimes we read these articles and we're like, what does this even mean? Like, who's going to be in charge of, these data breaches? Again, you can do your research and you can figure out who these contracts are being awarded to, what these companies are doing. Um, and yeah, it's crazy.
Two things. Number one, um, it seems funny that this is going to be one of the tools, obviously, of the Trump administration. So that's number one. Okay. Now, if we go back and we talk about Snowden and WikiLeaks and all of
Mm,
those things that happened under Barack Obama, um, the conversation was that Barack Obama was invading civil rights of American citizens, right? Everyone called him a monster for it. It was horrible. That should never happen. I can't believe he did that. It's just funny because those exact same people, if you hear the conversation now, it's okay because it's protecting America.
mm,
A little strange, right? Same
right. Yeah.
thing, and even to a higher level because the technology is advanced
More
significantly,
advanced.
right? And so just strange. Face recognition is crazy, right? That's number one. The number two thing is how long have they been planning this? Because did they already know Trump was going to be
Facts.
elected?
Facts.
Isn't it
Facts.
weird that the contracts were already awarded? Like, how does
Bro,
that happen? How does that happen
you brought
if you
up a
don't know Trump's going to be like? If it was a fair and clear and honest election, right? And no one knew who was going to be elected. Because if you do these things under a Harris administration, right, which is going to carry on with the Democrats in the way that they believe, it wouldn't happen, right? It's not going to, because there's not going to be mass deportation. I mean, they're still going to deport people. Yeah, because that's part of being in the US. Both sides do it, but it's not going to be this plan to deport millions of people
right.
all at once, right? And so these companies are taking prey or taking and they're actually benefiting from the fact that Trump won. But how did they already know this? How are he's not even in office. How did these contracts get fulfilled that quick, and the amount of money, and it's very descriptive of where they're going to use it and how they're going to use it. It just, I don't know, Chris, that seems kind of somehow to me that seems a little bit strange. And then the third thing, what I'll say is, listen, you don't have to know where they come from. It doesn't even matter the first
Right.
two things I said if you don't even care. Here's the thing. Go look up that list, right? Find those companies, see if you can buy stock in them.
Mm, now
It's
you
time for
talking.
us, like, instead of trying to fight it
Now
and
you
talk about
talking.
it, like, yeah, we're going to talk about it because it's weird that all this is happening, but at the same time, I want to make money off of it because somebody's going to. There's a couple things I won't make money off of. I'll make money off this. I wouldn't make money off privatized prisons, big pharma. I don't
Mm,
because that's
mm.
different. But like something like this, figure out where the companies are. Can you buy stock in them? Go buy that stock. Go ahead, Chris. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
No, you cooked on that last one. No, that's a great point. And you know what's interesting about these contracts is it says the date when they were awarded. I think it was in August. A couple of them were a little sooner. But when these contracts are put out, it takes time. It usually takes a whole year to put out the solicitation.
Thank you.
It takes a long time. It's not like, yo, we just putting this out on Craigslist
That's
and
what
we
I'm
need
saying.
we
I
need this
come on,
done.
man.
No,
Come
these are
on.
calculated. People are hired to put together these solicitation. They're not gonna waste their time if this thing ain't serious and it ain't gonna get awarded. They put it out something like that, $20 million or whatever, $2 million. That typically takes about a year in advance to put together to find the right people that are going to be in place to be awarded that contract.
And I ain't talking conspiracy theories. These are
No,
facts of the timing that it takes to do these. So what does that tell you? And you can draw your own conclusions. However, whatever you want to believe. I'm just stating this stuff has been in place, and magically somehow all these contracts are brought to fruition before January. So that day one, right? What did we say in the last article when we spoke last time, right? Day one, he's ready to go day one. He's like,
day
yo,
one.
listen, as soon as I'm
Mm.
in, I am mobilizing people. Like we're getting millions of people out here. How do you do that? Because remember, they were like, how would he do that? How would he know who's who's legal, who's
Yeah,
here you go.
and ICE, the ICE agency, they are 100% supportive of what Trump is trying to do.
100.
I was watching a video today. Uh, I don't know his exact position, but my man's at the head of something, and
Yeah.
he said we ain't playing around. We ready to go when he goes into office. So I don't know exact. I mean, we partly see how it could this plan's gonna roll out. I was trying to do some more research on specifically how it's gonna be done, but it's gonna get crazy.
Let's draw this out. And I'm not speaking, I'm not fear mongering, but in the Northeast, right? You've already heard governors say that they're not playing with Trump. You don't control our state. We'll
Mm,
fight you. Like they literally have already. If you go look it up. Look up Illinois. Look up New York. Look up New Jersey. The governors literally told him, "I don't care that you're president. You're not changing anything in our state, right? It's not happening." And so, with that being said, do you have civil war now? Is like who does the National Guard side with? Is it a state militia that they be like? How does that happen? So if ICE mobilizes and comes to their state and they're going to block ICE from doing any of the like, how does that happen? What do you use? Is it the it can't be the police force? So what do you use to block ICE from doing whatever they want to do? Because they promised that they weren't going to let Trump basically run their state. I'm curious.
100%. No, I was just because I know what article you're referring to. I'll bring it up real quick so they can just see the screen. I believe it was this one. So sanctuary cities plan to resist Trump's mass deportation plans. So again, this is exactly what Jeremiah was talking about here. And this is from newsnationnow.com. So you can go and check out this website. And yeah, I mean, look, like you said, there are cities and states that are not vibing what he's trying to do.
Not at all.
Yeah, man. This is crazy. I'm about to get me a trap phone, man.
I mean, I'm just stating, and even so so the fourth point of what I want to say
Go ahead.
is now it becomes subjective, right?
Mm. Yeah.
Because someone could say, you look at me, okay, I'm a black guy, right? Whatever. Someone could say I'm from Jamaica, and they just say that I'm from Jamaica. They just, anything, change your records, do whatever they want to do to change it because they control everything, right? And so they just say that hey, Jeremiah's from Jamaica. He didn't have any papers. I obviously not from Jamaica, but that's what they said. So they
Hmm.
just deport me. You're like, that would never happen.
Man, if they got that
How many
control,
people are in prison right now that are innocent
right, right.
in the United States? So you don't think that they could just, you making too much noise, you kind of made Trump a little angry, you don't think he can make that happen and make whatever they want happen. So it's just now it gets subjective because they have face recognition. They have all. See, we told you he's from Jamaica, and you're like, and your people around you and your family, and like, he's never been. What are you talking about? But it won't even matter. It's just subjective.
Mm.
It's whatever they want it to be. And they have the technology now to erase your data,
Erase
erase your
it.
passport, erase your files where you worked for said American companies, erase your LinkedIn, erase like they'll just erase you. And like, see, there's no record of him. He's from
Hmm.
Jamaica.
Bye. Insane, man.
You're fear
This is
mongering. I'm really
no,
not.
no. This
I'm
and this
telling
this
the truth.
this is why I knew that would maybe a feeling or somebody would say that. I wanted to show, okay, this is where the contracts are coming from. This is the company. This is the article that you mentioned. Like these are things that are actually happening, and we can just
Actual. Yeah.
factual, exactly. Crazy, man. So we will, and look, it's gonna be a very interesting. Y'all enjoy your holidays.
They're like, you just saying that because you Puerto Rican, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Nah, but I mean, I got, you know what I'm saying? I got Hondureño,
Yeah,
Catracho friends. I got Salvadorian friends. I have Dominican friends, right? The Dominicans is like our cousins, right? I know a
yeah,
lot of people from, República Dominicana. So it's like, yo, I worry about everybody else. It's not
yeah.
just us. Yeah, it may not affect us, but it affects other people in the Latin community, you
Yeah,
know?
and when I say enjoy your holidays, I'm poking fun at like not in a negative way, but saying like it's gonna get
No.
crazy. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? We
yeah, yeah.
don't know
No,
what's
no.
going. It's
I'm
gonna be the
saying
Wild Wild West in January.
exactly, exactly. No, I knew you meant that. I'm saying
Yeah, yeah,
people would say, "Oh,
for
he's
sure,
saying that because
for
they don't
sure.
got nothing to worry about. Them two, they could just." But it isn't like that. We think about the entirety, right? Like this is Latin wealth. This isn't Puerto Rican wealth. This is
Hmm.
Latin wealth. So we
It
think
will,
about
it will.
everybody, right? And so, hey, this is something
Yeah,
we want to make sure you're informed.
from our friends, families. I'm with you, man. I have a variety of people into even the trickling down effect of how it's going to affect the economy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like these are all things that we need to be aware of and to
They don't
be
want to talk
worried about.
about that.
Yeah.
I tried to have that conversation the other day, and somebody told me I was crazy. And I said, "Well, I mean, okay." And we kind of broke it down a little bit. I said, "I want you to. What do you pay, right? The average Latino that works in construction or doing some type of work that Americans don't want to do. What do you pay them? It's very minimal, correct? They don't complain. They're very happy. They're thankful for that money that they get. Okay, now let's exchange that out. Now, let's
Mm.
say that, not trying to be like that, but let's say Caucasian people still don't want to do it. So you make black people do it. But black people are US citizens. And so they have certain, inalienable rights, which is like, minimum wage. You have to make sure that
Hmm.
they have health care. They like all these things now you have to do. How does that change the cost of building that home? If I have to pay all this extra
Hmm.
money and pay for their medical, now houses shift by 25, 30% additional cost. So the lowering interest rates don't even mean anything because the houses cost 30% more. So it doesn't matter if you got low interest rates. Houses are more expensive.
People don't think about that.
Come on, man.
Crazy. So yeah, 2025. Again, we're gonna be here to review everything, give you all the information, um, give you both perspectives, both sides as much as possible, and limit the fear mongering as much as possible as well. So
I still want to be, and by the way, I still want to be in the middle. I'm going to tell you like this. Democrats, if you don't figure out how to utilize this, because this is
Yeah.
crazy. Democrats, you, you took a L, like a big L, right? It was a blowout. Okay, so if you don't take this and figure out, like, this is crazy. This is not even like this shouldn't even be constitutionally possible.
That's
But
a
it
fact.
and then but this is how they get away with it. So we can get off of it, but this is how they get away with it. Because like it's because these people don't have rights. They're not citizens, so they don't have constitutional rights. You're like, what? And then people just thought about, dang, that's true. Right. That's how you're able to do the things that you're doing, but they're still humans, right?
Hmm. Yeah, man, it's going to be very interesting to see in 2025. What else is going to be interesting to see in 2025 are these rent prices. So rent prices are actually down again and expected to fall in 2025. I really want to get Jeremiah's thoughts about this conversation. It's been a minute since we spoke about renting and
Yeah,
buying. It's been a couple months. So, is it smarter to rent or buy currently? The median rent price for a 0 to 2 bedroom apartment has fallen for 15 months in a row and is now down $40 from their August 2022 peak, according to a new report. So the average 30-year mortgage rate has increased over the last few months, hitting 6.91% on Friday, close to where they were at in July. So, Jeremiah, I'd love for you to take it away. Let us know, man, is it smarter to rent or buy? Obviously, the numbers kind of speak for themselves.
correct.
But we also, I want to give grace to people that are in different scenarios. Maybe
Sure,
I just want a house. I want to stay here for the rest of my life. Maybe I'm investing in a home. Let's
sure.
break down these couple different scenarios.
Number one, real estate within itself is localized. Okay. This is a general statement. And this is taken into when you say median, this is like I lined up 100 different
For
home
sure.
prices and I took number 49 or number 50. The median means I took the middle. I didn't
Hmm.
average them. The median is the middle of those home prices from zero, from like lowest to highest, right? Okay. And they say, well, that gives you about an average, but it may not. But I want people to understand that
That's a good point.
real estate is localized. In Texas, the real estate is going to be different. Even within Texas itself, there's subsectors. You're going to pay more money. Now, Dallas is becoming a financial hub. You're going to pay more money in Dallas than you would in Bedford, Texas. You're going to pay more money in Dallas than you would in Tyler, Texas. You're going to pay more in Houston, inner city, than you would out Sealy, which is right outside of Houston. So these are just things to understand. Real estate is localized. Okay, I've given real estate the love that it's going to get for the houses. Now,
Yeah, let's
that
talk
being
about it.
said, in a general statement, if I took all 50 states, right, and I did the average, it is cheaper and better to rent. I said this maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I think even then, Chris, you were like, bro, I don't know. And you were like, you said, we'll see. That's what you said. You're like, we'll see. It's proven now.
Hmm.
Now I'm just sitting and looking at people and they're like, yeah, you're right. Literally, what in those 15 months where the rent price has consistently gone down in those 15 months, what could you have done with the money instead of having a mortgage, which is continuously kind of been on a roller coaster, but basically in general on the rise? Let's
Hmm.
talk about it. Let's say my rent was 1,300 bucks, okay? But my mortgage was $2,000. There's $700 difference between the two. If I was renting, now I'm not even gonna go any deeper because I could do mortgage, PMI, like there's extra stuff, just mortgage, okay? That's $700. If I took $400 of that 700, right? Dollar cost averaging month by month and put it into an index, S&P, NASDAQ, whatever you choose, over those 15 months, what would have been my growth versus me simply paying toward a
Hmm.
home? How much equity did I gain in that home versus the money that I would have had inside of that investment? It's world difference. I'm sorry. It just
Hmm.
is. It's a better play. And people are like, oh, well, you can't fight numbers. And it's in now. Like it's been now we have like full baseline. It was better to rent, money not coming out, and invest the rest of that money. Well, not everybody's gonna invest. Of course not. I understand that. Everyone knows that. And everyone's situation is different. Some people they inherited a home. Some people they bought the home on for foreclosure. Other people did a short sale. These are different exceptions. Cool. If you barely paid for the home and it's already paid for, if you inherited the home, that's different. Pay your property taxes, pay your insurance, which by the way, now it costs just as much in Florida and California as it does to actually have that mortgage. Your insurance is the same cost as the mortgage. Pay it. If that's what you want, pay it. But if you can sit down and do pros and cons and look at the amount of money you would save by simply renting, and renter's insurance does not cost like home insurance does.
$15,
$20. Come
15,
on, man.
$13.
Yeah, what what are we and you get $2 million of coverage. How do you know that, Jeremiah?
Facts.
Because like, yo, I had an apartment. Yeah, my last apartment was in 2009. True. But I know people right now that still live in apartments and they're paying $22 for renter's insurance and they got $3 million of coverage.
Bro, I pay
Everything could
15. I pay $15.
$15. Come on. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, are we gonna be serious? And are we gonna start making better money moves? For the past 2 years, I've been saying this, and now hopefully people are starting to listen. Like, it's better to rent. Renting's not dumb. It is not the American dream to be in an immense amount of debt, owning a home that you can't afford. Meanwhile, you can invest. The way that you advance yourself, guys, and we always talk about this, is investing your money and putting it into something that is going to work for you. Now, if you're investing in a home, a single family residential home, that's not the play. Multifamily is the way that you
Hmm.
want to go because then you could live in one of the units and the other people
Hmm.
pay, and that's different. But just in the American dream of buying a home, right? Buying the house, or if you're buying single residential homes as investments, I can't see it. And the numbers are in. It wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, and even the conversation around what happens when you miss that mortgage, the home that you thought you owned.
Own the home. No, pay for the home. Pay the home off. Miss that HOA payment. Pay the home off. Miss the property tax payment. Don't literally you bought the house, but you don't own the land that the house is on. That's and this is all I'm saying. This is it makes more sense. I know Generation X, baby boomers, our grandparents, I know they all that's all they were taught. Really buy the house and the picket fence and I said it and I'll say it again. That's not the American dream anymore. And you got to wake up. People got to stop buying propaganda. It's not real anymore. The only people winning in that situation is banks and large institutional investors. That's the only people really that are winning in that. Like the American public's not winning in this whole situation.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. I have one of my friends out here. He's Puerto Rican as well. He's selling his home and he wants to move to downtown. Bro, he literally just put his house on the market like 5 days ago. He's like, I'm
There
out.
it is.
Um, yeah, I mean, I wanted you to give that breakdown because not only have you rented, but you own
I own.
property right now
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
in
I own.
multiple different cities. So,
Yeah, so people ask me, well, but yeah, I mean, I bought mine. I was smart. I bought those homes in 2009, during the last recession. Like I got homes on foreclosure. That's what I'm saying. If you're buying homes on foreclosure, like, oh, that's what I'm doing. Okay, that's different. But at the same time, you still got to pay the property tax. I still had to pay, you know, insurance, which wasn't anywhere near like what it is now. And so, hey,
100%.
I don't know. Chris, what's your opinion? Like if someone came to you and
To
was
me, it
like,
doesn't make sense for us to rent or to buy right now. It doesn't make sense. You know,
that's
we if you're listening to this podcast, we are making a great assumption that you want to improve in some area of your life. Financially, probably is one of them. For me, you mentioned the $700 difference from renting to owning. I could be putting that towards again investing, or I could be
a
putting it
business.
directly into my business.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have both and you got both. So that's what I'm saying. Either way, I'm enriching myself something that's going to bring me residual income. Guys, that's the game. If you the wealth gap is only going to get bigger. AI is ensured that the wealth gap is only going to grow at a very rapid pace. It's going to
Mm,
be so bad very soon, you'll never catch up, like ever. You'll have no chance. You have to invest properly. Like you have to, or put your money back in your business where you can scale your business. These are things you have to do. You don't have to buy a house. The houses will be there. They'll always be building houses. They'll always be like, and there's a time that the interest level and the cost of the homes, everything will drop. It's cyclical. So you just gotta wait and be patient. But this like I feel like so many of us too have that pressure. Our parents and these people, when are you
mhm.
gonna buy a home? And you just renting and that like and it's just all propaganda and it's crap that they talk to us that they were taught that isn't true anymore. It was true in the 90s, it was true in the early 2000s. Ever since 2008, it's eh.
Mm.
It's like, it's questionable.
Yeah, we did a whole episode about the American dream, right? And so I
Yeah.
think that's definitely a conversation or a discussion that maybe y'all can sit with after this episode, really identifying what does that mean? What does that look like to you? Because I have, real quick, this will be the last thing I say. I have a client that I manage his podcast. We do all his podcast production. He had somebody on the show. He's a U.S. veteran, and the conversation that they were having was the American dream, a U.S. veteran. He's like, yo, I packed up my stuff and I moved to DR.
Expat. Expat is real. Like, what is that? Expat is people that leave their countries and move to a foreign. Like,
Mhm.
expat is a real movement.
Yeah,
That's real.
yeah, we see that a lot for sure. Yep. So what I will say is we would love to hear you guys' thoughts and
For sure.
opinion of this. If you are like the person that is pro buying a home or
Sure.
pro renting,
Give me
leave your
reasons.
any reason, leave your thoughts and comments down below. Give us your thoughts and comments about the whole ICE agency and the Trump mass deportation. We'd love to hear your thoughts about that. Thanksgiving is coming up. You guys have a blessed Thanksgiving. Eat a lot of food. Spend some time with the family. And if you guys, I'm gonna say this from the bottom of the heart. If you guys don't have somebody, maybe it's a dark time during the holidays, please reach out to us.
Please.
I'd love to jump on a call with y'all, encourage y'all, whatever it is. You guys are family if you're listening to this show. So we're here to support you guys and be here for you guys. With that being said, it's the Light One family. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace.
Peace, guys.